Welcome to PWS United, a podcast for the Prader-Willi syndrome community, brought to you by PWSA USA. This podcast gives the latest news in research, advocacy, and family support by bringing together staff, volunteers, PWS treatment specialists, biotech and pharmaceutical representatives, caregivers, family members, and individuals with PWS. Our goal is to share education, awareness, and resources with those living with PWS and their supporters. Join us in our mission to enhance the quality of life and empower those affected by Prader-Willi syndrome. Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of PWS United. We are very excited to have Annie back with us after her amazing vacation, and I want you to tell us your favorite part about it, Annie. 3, 2, 1, go.
My favorite part was not getting stung by a scorpion that was in my bed. No, it was a wonderful trip.
Fine.
It was 30 hours of travel each way. It was sleeping on the Dallas airport floor,
No.
both directions, which was fine. But having Freya, there was a few moments where I was like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna get there before the restaurants close,
Oh,
and
sure.
I don't know that I can promise dinner, so it was a little challenging, but I had snacks and it was fine. And we were in San Pedro, on the Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. An incredible place, so beautiful. The volcanoes around. We got to watch at night. We got to see fuego, which is one of the volcanoes shooting off lava. That was really
Cool.
cool. A lot of indigenous Mayan art. And we did a tour of the lake. I think that, well, other than seeing old friends that I haven't seen in like 7 years,
Mhm.
and having really special time with them. We did a tour of the lake on a boat. We rented a boat. It was just one of like the little pongas or whatever, and we just went around the lake shore and saw all the different ways people are living along the lake, and that was really special and really fun. And the hammock was nice as well. So it was a really great trip. But I'm glad to be home
Yeah.
and here with you doing our podcast.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you back. I'm so glad that you had an amazing trip, though. It was so well deserved and so needed once in a while. And I went to Europe for 2 weeks this year, so it was your turn to
Yeah.
get your trip in. Yes.
Yeah, it
Um,
was really nice.
yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And we're coming up to the end of the year, which is wild. So we have less than a month of 2025 to go. And then we have all of the joys and excitement and wonder of 2026. And
Yeah, we got some new stuff that we're gonna
yeah.
come out with, and yeah, just looking forward to the new year. Looking forward to winding down this year. It's been a great 50th year.
Mhm.
Um, Busy,
Busy.
so it is. Yeah, I'm excited to move on to some new stuff.
Same. And we've got a lot.
Yeah.
Got a lot of new stuff next year. But before we get to that, we want to talk through our volume 136 of the Pulse newsletter that was sent out on December 5th. And we're closing out the year by sharing our Angel Drive campaign. And we've been doing the Angel Drive since November 1st, but we just hit the halfway point. It goes until December 31st. So it's just a little call here that we're, again, halfway through our biggest annual fundraising campaign. And every contribution made to PWSA USA during this 2-month time period really does set us up for the critical programs and services for the next year for our families and our individuals and all of our loved ones in the community. So we just really want to put a big thank you out to everyone who has donated during the Angel Drive and who has shared, our posts about it and any information with your community. Just thank yous all around. And again, we're accepting any contribution that you're able to give until December 31st. And we'll have a link in our show notes to the donation page. And we also, in the spirit of our giving thanks. Want to share a heartfelt thank you to everyone who doubled their impact on Giving Tuesday, which was December 2nd. And also want to give a big shout out to the anonymous donors who made the $20,000 match opportunity possible. That was amazing. And Stacy shared a really nice gratitude message, and we shared that on our socials. But if you haven't watched it yet, I encourage you to do so, and we'll have her video in the link in our show notes as well.
Yeah.
And finally, for our Angel Drive, we have another really great Hope in Action video. I just love these. They're
Mhm,
so sweet.
they're lovely.
They are. They're so sweet and lovely. And this one centers around a longtime volunteer, PWS community member, woman of so many amazing talents, Carol Hearn. And in her video, she's sharing about when she first learned, her and her husband Tim first learned about their son David's diagnosis with Prader-Willi syndrome more than 30 years ago, and
Mm,
how hope was, as she put it, kind of hard to come by at that time. So she really reflects on those early days, the somewhat limited guidance that families once received, but how PWSA became a lifeline of trusted information and support and connection. So we really encourage you to go and watch that very, again, sweet video of Carol and all of our other Hope in Action videos as well. You can find when you click on that, they'll all kind of populate in the side. So
mhm.
yeah, we just love these. We love being able to put these out. So
Yeah,
go and check it out.
they're so great. They
Mhm.
make me cry every time.
That's what
I don't
Stacy says. I share them with her before they go out, and she's like, "Another day in tears." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah. Well, and I wonder if we should just make a little PSA to make sure that people know that you do not have to donate to receive our services. I
So
know that
true.
that is something that has come up as a question in the past from a parent or two, and we just want to
Mhm,
make it very clear. We are so grateful for your donations. If you are not in a position to donate, we understand. We're still
mhm.
here to support you. It's okay.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. No, I'm so glad you said that, Annie. Cannot overstress that enough, honestly. We are here for everyone, no matter what, all the time.
Yeah.
Please utilize our services in every capacity you can. That's what we're here for. All right, moving on now to our PWSA memory for the week. So on November 27th, 1998, the Sally Jesse, oh God, Raphael?
I love that you don't know how to say it because you don't know the show, apparently.
Nope.
I mean, that's you said it right, the Sally Jesse Raphael show. Yes, it was a
Okay,
very it was a very popular show when I was, in high school, just
thank you
showing
for
our
clarifying.
ages, our age difference.
I try not to. Sometimes I can't help it. So the Sally Jesse Raphael show aired an episode titled Don't Stare, We Are Still Human. And Michael Parker, a young man with Prader-Willi syndrome, was on the six-person panel and shared his journey as someone with a disability, which is so cool that they were able to be part of this. I love that PWS was in the spotlight there. So you can find in volume 24, number 2 issue of the Gathered View from March to April 1999, more about this. And Michael was definitely praised for spreading awareness about PWS on the national stage there. So we encourage you to go and read more about it by visiting that Gathered View in the link in our show notes. And then our Spotlight on Hope for the week. In December of 2023, we released a Spotlight on Hope video with the Sachs family. We spoke with Sharon, who is mom to Andrea, who's living with PWS, and with Andrea's sister, Leora. The sisters grew up in South Africa and, at the time of the video, lived in Philadelphia. Sharon and Leora talked with us about their relationship growing up, how education and PWS affected their lives, and how their relationships with Andrea have evolved. And like many families, Leora says hers has greatly benefited from PWSA USA, the family support, resources, advocacy, and everything that we offer our community. So Leora said, I think the Prader-Willi Syndrome Association is phenomenal. It's literally been a lifesaver for my family. I think having resources and people who really understand what the needs of a Prader-Willi person and the needs of a Prader-Willi family are has been invaluable. And you can read this full spotlight on Hope's story and watch the interview at the link in our show notes.
All right. So, under our events and fundraisers, we have Claws for a Cause, which happened this past weekend and I heard was very successful. They had a spotlight on their local news that was shared on social media. And I think a lot of people showed up. It was sold
Mhm.
out. It was just a great event. So, we just want to give a big, huge, loving thank you to the families in Pittsburgh who put together this event and who showed up and hopefully had a wonderful time. And here is a note from the organizers. They said, "Your generosity and support help lighten burdens, fuel hope, and remind families navigating Prader-Willi syndrome that they are not alone. Every donation, bid, share, and kind word makes a meaningful difference this holiday season and beyond. From our family to yours, thank you for helping us move closer to a brighter future." So, yes, again, just thank you to all the families involved. And I'm glad it was a successful event.
Moving on to some advocacy news now. We are celebrating a monumental victory for the rare disease community in the advocacy space. So on December 1st, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the Give Kids a Chance Act. It's a landmark step toward restoring critical incentives for developing treatments for children with pediatric cancers and rare diseases, including Prader-Willi syndrome. So, what does this mean for the PWS community, and why is the Senate vote so critical? Well, in our latest advocacy blog post, our own Director of Community Engagement, Dorothea Lance, breaks down why the legislation is a potential game changer for our families and why our advocacy here must continue. And we will have a link to that blog in our show notes. But Annie, I can remember, I think it specifically was a Rare Disease Week initiative a couple of years ago that we went around to our elected official offices in each state asking for this Give Kids a Chance Act to be approved. So to see some movement happen and to
Hmm.
see, this legislation move forward after a lot of advocacy efforts around it is really a really beautiful thing. I think it really does speak volumes to what we're doing. So what we're doing is working.
Yes, incredible work to all of our advocates and great news. So happy to hear
Mhm.
it. Under our family support section, we have a lovely reflection from our staff who recently went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to visit the Panther RX Rare Pharmacy. Now, this is the pharmacy that is going to be dispensing Vicat. So, Soleno Therapeutics, they created the medication and now Panther RX is the pharmacy that will be getting it into the hands of our families. So, from everything I've heard from you, Carrie, and from what we've talked about with staff, it was just a really incredible experience for you all to be there and to share your stories and to share about PWS. And what a great opportunity to let the people who are going to be working with our families have a better understanding of what it is our families are dealing with. So,
Mhm.
you can read about this visit and each staff member's experience there by using the link in our show notes. And was there anything you wanted to add about that?
I think people will read it as they're looking through our quotes, but it was such an emotional day. Like, you could really see and feel the emotions from the Panther employees as they were listening to, Dorothea and Melanie and Lynn's stories as
Mhm.
parents, and we saw so many just tears in the audience, some like crocodile tears. It was very, like, real and raw and authentic, and we would not have wanted it any other way. I think they really got a really good inside look into daily life for parents in our community and what the struggles are, and that reminder to just be that helpful, voice on the other end through the process of getting the medication. So, I think we achieved some really positive things there, and I hope we have more opportunities, similar to that in the future to raise this critical awareness for people, in the space that but maybe don't completely know what day-to-day life is like and the struggles our families are facing. So, yeah, all around super incredible, super important things
Yeah,
came out of that. Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So, this next one is an adoption spotlight shared on behalf of the Children's Home of Pittsburgh. This is for a 2-month-old Caucasian boy named Santino. So Santino has a diagnosis of PWS. He has a G tube and is currently doing well overall. He has hypotonia, for which he is receiving speech, physical therapy, and occupational therapy. And he has follow up appointments with specialists at UPMC Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh. So Santino's birth parents are making a private adoption plan, and they would like for him to keep his name. The parents would also prefer a family that practices Catholicism or Christianity. The birth parents would like ongoing contact with the adoptive family. While this is a private adoption, due to Santino's medical needs, there are minimal fees involved. And you can learn more about Santino by contacting Erica Schmidt at the Children's Home of Pittsburgh, and I'll have that email in the show notes. The phone number is 412-441-4484. Just want to put that out there, and hopefully we can find this sweet little boy a home. And we're going to move on to our Ask Nurse Lynn. This was submitted on the behalf of a male, 32 years old, deletion subtype. And the question was, my son has been taking testosterone for 18 years, but his LH blood test is 1.1 low. Is it normal for him? And if you understood the question and would like to hear the response or like to read the response, you can find a link to that in our show notes as well.
And in some research news, we have an exciting clinical trial update. Last week, the FDA officially approved Aardvark Therapeutics protocol amendment to their phase 3 HERO clinical trial for ARD 101, expanding eligibility and opening the door for younger individuals living with PWS to participate in the trial. So, this update means that individuals who are aged 10 and older can now enroll in the HERO trial. Those previously on the wait list who are between the ages of 10 and 12 are now eligible to join the trial. And this really does give more opportunities for early intervention and expanded access. So we're incredibly encouraged by this important step forward and what it means for individuals and families in the PWS community. And as a reminder, ARD 101 is an investigational therapy that's being studied to help manage hyperphagia in individuals with PWS. And we do have a link where you can learn a little bit more about this, and we'll have that in our show notes.
All right. So this looks really cool. This study. Adults with PWS are invited to share their perspectives. They're going to be asked questions about their thoughts, feelings, and experiences with dating and romantic relationships. I just think that looks like a really interesting study, and I would love to hear how it goes because I know it's an important topic. I mean, I have a
It is.
14-year-old who just can't wait to have a boyfriend. So and I hope someday she gets to have that. So
Mhm.
this is for adults with PWS age 18 or older who are able to provide consent and are comfortable participating in a one-on-one Zoom interview. And these will be 30 to 45-minute Zoom interviews, again, to answer questions about romantic relationships. I'm going to guess and say they don't have to have had one because these are just questions
Right.
about their thoughts, feelings, and experiences with dating. And so even if they don't have experience with dating, I'm sure they have feelings about that. So if you are interested, we will put a link to the flyer in the show notes.
And that has a QR code to
Okay.
scan with a mobile device to be able to participate in the pre-screening survey.
Yeah, and if I can get a if I can get a link to work.
Yeah, we
If
can
I
just
s
add that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll do that. And for those who would like to know where this is coming from Vanderbilt University, so a reputable source.
There's also a call for caregivers of children with PWS to participate in a play skills study. So, the Chicago School is looking for participants to learn more about the effects of caregiver training on play skills for children with PWS. The purpose of this study is to evaluate the effects of virtual caregiver training to teach caregivers to use behavioral interventions to improve social skills in play in children with PWS. Caregivers will participate in a 5 to 7 week virtual caregiver training program, complete pre and post training surveys, and video record play sessions with their child. Participation in this study will require between 60 minutes and 2 hours per week. The training and surveys will be done entirely online via Zoom and Question Pro. Participants will be provided with a $300 Visa gift card upon completion of the study. So, to participate, you must be at least 18 years of age, have a child with PWS between the ages of 5 and 10, and live in the same home as your child, be able to speak and read English, have access to a device with video recording and video conferencing capabilities, and your child must have at least one deficit in social play skills. For examples, they give sharing or taking turns or communicating during play. And you can find the eligibility screener at the link in our show notes. And you can also send an email for any questions, and we'll have that email address in the show notes as well. And this is the Chicago school who is conducting this study, just as an FYI. So, another great reputable source.
So, this next section is bittersweet. It is in memory of Fausta Dieterling. So, for those of you who do not know, Fausta Dieterling was one of the co founders of PWSA USA. Of course, we are deeply saddened to share the passing of Fausta Dieterling, who passed away peacefully on November 23rd, 2025, at the age of 94. So, that's why I say bittersweet. I mean, of course, we're sad that she passed, but what an incredible life. I mean, to live to 94 and to have left such an incredible legacy, like being one of the
Yeah.
founders of this organization. Very incredible.
Yes.
So we are just truly grateful to her, and our thoughts are with her family. So just a little bit about her. 50 years ago, alongside her husband Gene, Fausta helped create and build PWSA USA, which at the time was known as Prader-Willi Syndrome Parents and Friends. And this was at a time when very little was known about PWS, and families had few places to turn to for guidance or support. And Fausta stepped forward with courage and determination. As the devoted mother of Curtis, who was living with PWS, she transformed both personal challenge and professional skill into a lifelong mission of advocacy, education, and hope. What began as a mother's desire to help her own son grew into an international beacon of support for thousands of families around the world. Fausta helped lay the foundation for the PWS community we know today. Her legacy lives on not only through PWSA USA, but through the countless lives touched by her strength and compassion, and through Curtis, who recently celebrated his 54th birthday in good health. Fausta will be deeply missed by the entire PWS community, and we hold her family close in our hearts during this time of loss. If you would like to read more about Fausta's remarkable life and legacy, there will be a link to that in the show notes.
And for those interested who are listening in attending any kind of memorial service that's planned for Fausta, her family is planning to host one, but they're not going to announce when or where until after the holiday season. So once that information's available, I'll make sure that we share that, just because there are a lot of people in our community who want to make sure that they can be there or send something. So
Mhm.
we'll make sure to share that information when we know as well. But yeah, what an amazing person, amazing
Mhm.
family. I'm so glad to hear that Curtis is doing well. I love that they
Yeah,
included that. So, and we want to thank her children for letting us know and for sending us her obituary, and allowing us to share that legacy and let the community know the amazing lasting impact that she made on so many lives. And if you actually go to our social media, Annie, we put this information there as well. And people have said just the sweetest comments,
mm,
and they've said things about like memories of Fausta and Jean, and it's really sweet to read. So if you're listening and haven't seen some of those comments, I encourage you to go and look at those too, because there's a lot of great ones. So
I
just
bet.
a wonderful person, deeply missed. Yeah.
Yes. Also, 94, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah. Wow.
Good job,
Amazing.
Fausta.
Truly amazing. Good
Yes.
job, Fausta. We need to do what you're doing.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, we will leave you all with an announcement. It's our resource spotlight for the week. So, as the holidays fast approach, a couple weeks away, a week away from some, we are resharing our holiday gift guide that focuses not on ages, but on sensory needs and desires. Gift shopping for the holidays can be very stressful and very overwhelming, as we all know. I'm feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it, Annie. So, sifting through gift guide after gift guide that categorizes by age group and the developmental assumptions that go along with those can definitely bring even more frustration. So, we're hoping that this sensory level inspired gift guide can help you curate a successful, appropriate, and fun list for your holiday shopping. And we will have the link to this holiday gift guide ideas blog article in our show notes. And once again, thank you to Annie for putting that together and doing all that great research for our families. I think it's super helpful. I've heard people love it.
I'm
Yeah,
glad to hear that. Yeah, I told my girls this year, that Guatemala was, of course, a big part of their Christmas gifts, and
love it.
then the
I would
rest are
say the same.
yeah, and then the rest are just coming from Costco. If you know, you know. So
Yes.
um, get them just some bulk something. I
Hmm.
don't know what, but
Yes. Some Costco, anything.
yeah, anything from
They've got
Costco.
it all.
Yeah.
Shameless
Uh,
plug.
uh,
All right, Annie. Well, we're so happy to have you back.
I'm happy to be back. Feeling a little rusty, but get some oil on those hinges and I'll get moving a little.
I've been here and I feel rusty. So what's my excuse? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it's just the end of the year. It's been a big year, and
Yes.
we got this.
We got this. 2026. It's new, all new. It's starting all over and setting all your new intentions, and they're going to be all carried out so beautifully.
Yes, and
Gonna do it.
if you are interested in giving us a holiday gift, you can do that
Yeah.
by leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. That would be
That would be the
wonderful.
best gift. The best gift.
We would be
Thank
so
you.
grateful. If you have any ideas for the podcast, something that you would love to hear that you would think would be a great addition, please feel free to email us. And that is pwsunitedpodcast@gmail.com. And I'll put that in the show notes. And yeah, thanks for hanging in there with us. Get those ratings and reviews in. And yeah,
We'll
we'll
be
see
back.
you all, next Tuesday.
Be back next Tuesday. Thank you for listening to this episode of PWS United. If you want to learn more about Prader-Willi syndrome and how PWSA USA is making strides in advocacy, family support, and research, visit www.pwsausa.org. And while you're there, we encourage you to sign up for our Pulse email newsletter to stay informed about the latest news, resources, and events. Don't forget to subscribe to the PWS United podcast so you never miss an episode. Our team is always available to support families and their loved ones living with PWS 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. You can call us at 941-312-0400 or email info@pwsausa.org. Catch a new episode next Tuesday, and until then, have a great week.